The universe isn't just out there. It's interacting with you. Claim your power by embracing the unknown. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, and I'm here to ignite your curiosity. Don't just listen, embrace it. Why do we have to act different when we're in a relationship? Or better yet, why do we act different when we're in a relationship? Last night, I had a quote, girl dinner. I had one food item. I broke the standard. I broke the norm. It wasn't some balanced meal. And anyway, what does a balanced meal mean anymore? I posted it on my Facebook page, and I don't post a lot on Facebook. But I wanted to share that I was having a girl dinner. It's probably safe to say that there is a deeper message there, that it's not just about sharing with everybody that I was having Morel mushrooms. There was this motivation that I was fighting against the norm, especially when women are single versus being in a relationship. We act different. Well, at least a lot of us do. I do. And it's still noticeable in me. It's still this thing that I do, and I don't know what happens. I have to consciously fight against these little programs that run in me. Some of this has to do with my upbringing. My dad rotated shift work, and the nights that he was home and we had a structured dinner at a specific time, and we had meat, potatoes, and a vegetable. There was no negotiating on that. We couldn't just have a salad. We couldn't just have a piece of meat. We had to have all three. And it was very structured and very formal. The nights that he wasn't there, we had weird, fun food. And even back then in the 70s, nobody was calling it a girl dinner. Nobody's like, oh, it's a girl dinner tonight and we can just have nachos. Or we can just have chips and cheese. Or we can just have snacks. Or we can just have a cookie. It hasn't been until recently where we've started to see these memes pop up that, one, we realize we behave differently. And two, it's okay to not have this strict, defined structure all of the time. I even had a man respond like, where's your meat and potatoes? Like, you can't just have Morel mushrooms. Yes, I can. Last night I had a girl dinner. And then when I went to bed, it was a girl bed because my dog and cat were in the bed. And I don't know how many times I've had comments from men, what are the animals doing in the bed? I'm sleeping like I am. So apparently having your dog on the bed is also a girl bed. I mean, I have known a few men who allow their pets on the bed, but I would say that more often than not, they don't want the pets there. And so this just reinforces in me that we see things very differently, and I don't know, why do we have to try to conform? Why do I have to, when I get into a relationship, conform? And I hear women and they're probably thinking, you don't. And then it comes down to, well, then I guess I can't have a relationship. Because a lot of men my age still expect to conform to some of these basic, like meal, like the pets, the routine and how things get done. I don't automatically expect men to conform to me, so why do they expect that I conform to them? I don't understand. Why is it some attack on your identity if we don't have meat, potatoes, and a vegetable? Why is this a deal breaker? Why is this even a topic of discussion is my thing. Why do we even have to think about this and waste energy on this? Maybe I need to add to my deal breakers. Do you require meat, potatoes, and a vegetable at dinner? And what is interesting is a lot of single men that I know, they aren't out there cooking a well-balanced meal, that they're having girl dinners as well. They're having a piece of meat. They're not cutting up a salad and arranging the tomatoes and arranging the hard-boiled eggs, and they're not making it pretty. They're not making sure that there is salad dressing on the little pieces of lettuce. No. They're standing at the grill, burning a piece of meat. But yet when they get in a relationship, a lot of men I know want the woman to cook. And it has to look this traditional way. Like Men in Soup. I don't really know a man who thinks having soup is a proper meal. Like, eat 2 bowls. I don't know what to tell you. And if you have a bowl of soup and you become hungry later on, can't you walk into the kitchen and find food? Like, if I get hungry, I walk into the kitchen and find some food. I don't expect someone else to know what I want. And then there's a part of me where it's like, we have serious issues at time in the world. Like in life. People are struggling. And we still have some of these basic gender beliefs that we have not evolved past. And how crazy is that? I grew up in a home where I had to clean my plate. There were times where I naturally did this. I was either hungry or I liked the food that we were having. But that wasn't part of the discussion. It was always, you had to clean your plate, which was essentially telling me that don't listen to your body, that the adults in the room want you to clean your plate. You have to do something that doesn't feel natural to you. You have to override your internal systems and eat food even when you don't feel hungry. I think this is one of the reasons why I don't enjoy and appreciate the large family gatherings that we've been having. Part of it is the food and what we're eating, and we're still eating these very heavy foods that I don't eat on a regular basis. And when my family is gathering now for a holiday, we have the big meat, the mashed potatoes and gravy, this vegetable that's been boiled in water for 20 minutes, so it doesn't have any nutritional value. I might as well drink the water that the vegetable has been boiling in. There's probably more nutritional value in the water than in the actual vegetable. And I don't enjoy the whole process of again, overriding my body just to participate in something. I mean, why can't we just get together for a couple of hours and not have to eat and share food? That's where I'm really at, because we're all very different. We all need different things. And the older generation in my family doesn't have the flexibility to throw all of these norms that they have been living by just out the window. Like, throw them all out the window. Can you do me a favor? Can you hit the subscribe button? It really helps me out. when people see how I cook and the recipes that I use on a regular basis, I've heard comments about, well, you must have been raised in a household where you ate healthy. No, I didn't. We had these highly processed, sugary foods that we had access to. We had the very structured dinner with the meat, potatoes, and vegetable. And I would even push back that was really a healthy option now, looking at what I eat versus how that food was prepared. It's taken me several years to evaluate. I don't feel good when I eat those foods. I don't feel good when I have to sit down and eat meat, potatoes, and a vegetable. Feel good when I have to negotiate in a relationship that I just want to eat this one food item. And I understand that not everything has the same nutritional value, but I also understand that I have to listen to my body. Maybe I just need greens tonight. Maybe I just need a high fiber soup. And why is this still such a huge topic of discussion? And what is it saying about the level of control or belief, or, what still needs to break down here? Why do so many people take it personally when we make food choices? Is it not enough for me just to show up and be present? And I can also look at the women in my family and how they have structured their identity and their role. And a lot of that still revolves around preparing food is one of their primary roles. My mom didn't work outside of the house. Well, she did until she had children, and then her role changed, and it primarily became preparing food for the family. Can you not separate your role and identity from the role that you fulfill? Maybe this is my long way of working back to that. And as I'm looking at this now, I'm realizing that both the women and men in my family and in my network still expect the woman to fulfill this role. And so many people around me cannot separate that. And how detrimental that really is, because when that role shifts and change, we haven't developed and maintained our own identity. Just because I don't want to eat the meal that you prepared doesn't mean that I don't love you and I don't appreciate you. I just don't like that food. And that is not about you as a person. And I feel like the men in my network and immediate family also live by these very specific rules and what we have to do for a meal. If you want meat, potatoes, and a vegetable, I don't know. I think you know the way to the kitchen. Why do I have to cook it for you? Why do I have to change into somebody else to be in a relationship with you? And then I was having a discussion recently with one of my children, and they were talking about having a meal with their dad. And I was like, oh, how did that go? Well, Dad grilled, and the chicken never has any flavor. And I just sat there, nodding my head, appreciating that I was not being subjected to that anymore. Like, it is so much more enjoyable to have food that tastes good, that is nourishing the body. And you know what? Maybe I'll have a girl dinner again tonight. Because you know what? I can. And I'll be fine. It'll be all right. Thank you for listening to this episode of Tracy Talks. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe, and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. Friends can find Tracy Talks available on iTunes, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. Hit me up on Instagram and Facebook at More Tracy Talks. And until next time, we meet again.